All right, welcome to Survive and Thrive, everybody. Super excited to have everybody here today. We're going to pick up right where we left off yesterday. So, we're going to talk about quite a few different things today. If you want to give a title to this, it's just John's tips on best tips on building a successful real estate business. So, let's start out by focusing on repeat and referral business. You know, it's interesting to me how many real estate agents would rather call a stranger than reach out to the people that they know, right? Your sphere of influence defined is anybody who knows you're a real estate agent, likes you, and would potentially is an important word right there, okay? Would potentially do business with you or refer business to you, okay? Then you have past clients. That's pretty much self-explained. And then you have advocates. Now, there's another group inside of that group called core advocates. Advocates are your raving fans. By the way, great book. If you've never read Raving Fans, read that book. Your raving fans are the individuals who have referred more than one deal to you. So anybody who has given you repeat referrals is a raving fan. That's an advocate. Okay, so core advocates are advocates who are strategically placed. So, for example, Doug Fresh was one of my core advocates. Doug was a for sale by owner. Called him up, went over, looked at his house. He hired me. I sold his house. And at the time, I didn't know that he was the director of sales for the largest assisted living facility on the west coast of Florida. Doug went on to refer about 5 or 6 sales to me every single year for the next 10 years. That's a core advocate. All right, 3 things that I want you to ask every single seller. When you're at the listing table, let's back up a little bit. When you're at the listing table, part of the listing presentation is I like to take a little bit of time to learn what your goals are so I know if we can meet your goals and exceed your expectations. You guys know the whole listing presentation. So that transitions into, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not so great and 10 being awesome, what needs to happen in the sale of your home for you to consider the experience a 10? And you go through this needs analysis where you're learning what their goals are. Okay, fast forward to the end of the listing appointment. You've got the listing. Joe, earlier you shared your goals with me. Is it okay if I share my goals with you? They're always going to say yes, of course. So I have one goal. My one goal is that you would be so happy with the experience of selling your home with me that you would never buy or sell another home again without talking to me first. And almost out of a sense of obligation to your friends and family members, if you knew anybody that was going to buy or sell a home, you would tell them they need to talk to me before they buy or sell a home after the sale. Star, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I did a horrible job and you're never going to work with me again, and 10 being we met all your goals, we exceeded your expectations. How did I do? On a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do? Now, you're going to hear a 10 because you guys are amazing. And when you hear a 10, I want you to follow it up with thank you. And if you knew of somebody that was going to buy or sell a home, would you refer them to me? They're going to say yes. Okay, now you're following up with your past clients and you're communicating with your sphere of influence. I'm going to slow down a little bit on this because I want you guys to get this super important here. We don't want to call our friends and family members. We don't want to call past clients. We don't want to call our sphere of influence because we have these limiting beliefs. And these limiting beliefs are I'm going to sound salesy, I'm going to sound desperate, and I don't want to be somebody who's using their friends in order to sell real estate. Now, how do I know that's what you're thinking? Because that's what I thought. As a real estate agent, I was just like you. I would rather call somebody I didn't know than somebody I did know. I'll get on the phone and call 40, 50 for sell by owners and expireds every day. No problem. No challenge with that whatsoever. But ask me to get on the phone and call my friends and family members and ask them, hey, who do you know that's looking to sell a home? Who do you know that's looking to buy a home? Uncomfortable. So my sister called me one day and she says, my name to my family is Johnny. And she says, Johnny, I wanted to tell you, I'm excited. A friend of mine just bought a house. I'm like, really? Wow, that's awesome. She said, matter of fact, she bought a home in your neighborhood. So this friend of her buys a home and she buys a home in the neighborhood I'm living in Palm Harbor, Florida. And I'm like, that's interesting because I don't remember working with your friend. And she said, "You didn't." And my response was, "Well, why didn't you call me?" You guys hear that? Okay. Why didn't you call me? Now, whose job is it to call who? That's right, Karen. It's my job to call. I can read lips, everybody, so be careful what you say. It's my job to call her, but she's my sister. Now, how awkward is that, Nick, for me to call my sister and part of the conversation being, "Hey, by the way, Michelle, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell a home?" Awkward. However, you absolutely positively have to do this. If they polled homeowners and they asked them, "Hey, did you have a great real estate agent?" Yes. If you were to buy or sell another home, would you work with them again? 90% are going to say yes. What do you think the percentage is that actually do? It's definitely not 90%, like 6%, Karen. You're right. It's so low. Why is that? Because they don't stay in touch. 63 years old, in the past 40 years, I can't even tell you how many cars I've bought. Let's just say a lot. And I've told every single salesperson who sold me a car, if you stay in touch with me, if you follow up with me, I will come back and buy another car from you. How many do you think did? How many of it, the over under? It's zero. Duncan, can you believe that? Being in this car sales business?
No, I can't, but they must not have had a good CRM. I don't understand. But follow-up's the name of the game.
Yes, it is. I mean, Joe Girard. Joe Girard set world records for selling cars. How did he do it? He worked his database and he sent out like 25 handwritten personal notes a day. So none of them followed up with me. You've got to stay in touch with your database. Now, think value. How can I add value to you? If I'm reaching out to you, whether you're part of a drip campaign and you're getting emails and text messages and snail mail and so on, the question is, what can I do in order to add value to the people that are part of my sphere of influence and past clients? Add value. You're making deposits. Now, when you've made deposit, 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 you get to make a withdrawal. And the withdrawal is very simple and it's part of the conversation. I'm not going to call Bill in Akron, Ohio. "Hey, Bill, John Dietz, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell a home?" No, it's not the conversation. It's Ford, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. How's your family? Specific questions. You know their family. Last time we spoke, Johnny was trying out for the baseball team. How did it go? How's Johnny doing in baseball? I saw on social media you guys were taking a trip. Looks like you went on a cruise. How did it go? What was your favorite part? You're having a forward conversation with them. Talk to them about the latest item of value that you sent them. "Hey, I sent you an update on the market in Wilmington, North Carolina, Kim. Just want to make sure you got that. And wanted to see, what questions do you have for me? Not do you have any questions for me? What questions do you have for me? What can I do to help you?" All right, slowing down. What can I do to help you? Now, what do you think most people's response is going to be when you ask them, "What can I do to help you?" The response is going to be, "I'm good. Thanks for asking, but I'm good." That's right, Monique. Nothing. So here's your follow-up question from this point forward. If there was something I can do for you, what would it be? By the way, Bunny Trail, when you ask people, "How are you doing?" What do you think you typically hear? "I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Everything is good." Follow-up question: how are you really doing? Get into a real conversation with people. Get into a real conversation with people. Now, before you end the call, "Hey, before I go, just out of curiosity, who do you know that's looking to buy a home in the next 6 months? Or who do you know that's looking to sell a home in the next 6 months?" Okay, let's talk about those advocates. I want you to write down everybody that you do business with, your doctor. How many of you have gone to the same family doctor for the last 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Taken your kids to the same doctor last 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? How many of you go to the same dentist, same dry cleaner? How many of you use a CPA and you've used the same CPA for the last 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? You're doing business with them. They're in business. Yet, how many of you have ever gone to any of those people and said, "Hey, by the way, I've been coming to you now for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Just out of curiosity, I'm a real estate agent. Have you given me any referrals over the last 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?" Now, this part, I'm serious, okay? If they respond with anything but, you're right. I'll definitely work on that and I'll start sending referrals to you. Your response is time to get a new doctor, time to get a new dentist, time to find a new dry cleaner. You're doing business with people. You should expect them to reciprocate and do business with you. And if they're not, find somebody else. Is anybody doing that already?
In car sales, we used to do that. The manager at my dealership used to always, his famous line was when someone didn't say something, he'd be like, I only do business with people that do business with me. And I always thought it was so many things when I first met him, I thought was absurd and like was aggressive. And then once you do it, once you're in it for the 5 years, you realize that it's like people that think that he's too much or people that probably weren't going to be good at like this sort of sales, but like everything he does, it comes back with a return. Like
That's right. That's
it's
right.
true.
That's 100% correct. All right. All right. So let's wrap this up. Can you build a successful business with repeat and referral business? 100%. I think that a lot of people, when they look at me, they automatically think he's the script guy. He's the prospecting guy. He'll teach you how to call for sell by owners and expireds. And all of that is correct. But I have several coaching clients who make zero prospecting calls. And I'm totally cool with that. You can build a massively successful business just through your sphere of influence and your past clients, but you have to put effort into it. Just like you're going to put effort into anything else, this takes effort as well. I would say it probably takes more effort. Let's backtrack on that. It definitely takes more effort. What kind of events are you doing in order to pour into your sphere of influence and your past clients? Thanksgiving, you could do a pie giveaway and send an invitation to everyone that's a part of your sphere of influence and your past clients. And you can invite them, ask them to come to an event where you're going to have drinks and appetizers, and they can pick up a pie for Thanksgiving. Give them a choice of three different pies and ask them which one do you want. I have a coaching client that is really involved in the local SPCA, and she was doing an event for the SPCA. I said, why don't you do a picture day? Invite everybody to come to this event and tell them, bring their pets with them. You'll have a professional photographer on hand who will take a picture of them with their favorite pets, and you'll give them a picture of themselves with their favorite pets. She did it, huge success, and she got referrals from taking pictures of cats and dogs. Just be creative. What else could you do to pour into your sphere of influence and past clients? There's more than one way to build a successful real estate business, even if you're still prospecting. You got three buckets of opportunity when you're lead generating: prospecting, calling for sell by owners, calling expired listings, circle prospecting, looking for motivated buyers and sellers. You have marketing, whether it's paid marketing or it's through social media or YouTube. Anything you do that causes incoming leads is marketing. I've watched Kim Crouch go from being mostly focused on prospecting to now most of Kim's business, Kim, correct me if I'm wrong, most of Kim's business is coming from her YouTube channel.
It's getting there. Yeah. It's still, most of it's still referrals and sphere, but yes, it will, this time next year, it will be 75% YouTube.
There it is. Okay. So, and then you have repeat and referral business. You should work all three. I've been to events before, I've spoken at events before, and I've had people come up to me who said, oh, I don't do that. Oh, I don't do that. Or I don't do that. And my response to them is always, what if you did? What if you did? I understand you've got this really successful business through either one of these buckets, whichever one it is. I don't care. What if a third of your business came from prospecting, a third came from marketing, and a third came from repeat and referral business? I'll tell you the answer. You're bulletproofing your business. So for an agent who was really focused on marketing, for example, in 2003, 4, and 5, business is good, life is good, phone is ringing off the hook. They're making no prospecting calls. Then the market shifts and the phone stops ringing. Guess who's getting the appointments? I am, because I'm already calling those for sell by owners and expireds. People who prospect are always ahead of the market. All right. I told you it was going to be random. So there it is. Raise your hand. Talk to me. Questions, comments, ahas. Joe Grant.
Yeah, I'll give you a simple one. I did not do a good job with calling my sphere of influence, but on this call, I got stuck in a breakout room with Brian and nobody really knew what they wanted to do. He's like, well, everybody should be calling their sphere. I did that, and two of them, the last sales I did in Virginia came from calling people I already knew. So it'll be rebuilding that in the new location, but we let the simple fundamentals slide. I've only been in the business 5 years and I already forgot to call the people in my phone.
There you go, buddy. Sean, talk to me.
I've been on this call, gosh, in December, it'll be 3 years or 2 years, something like that. The fundamentals of talking to people I learned on this call. I had already been in the business almost 10 years. I had my best year last year after being on this call a year. But every year, last year was a culmination of just hustling, reinventing myself every year, reaching out to people I didn't know. I wasn't leaning on my sphere. And at the end of last year, I was tired. And I was like, I've got to be able to have successful ultimate years, best years without this much work. I got to work harder. And I wasn't doing the things that you just talked about on this call now. I haven't had an extremely good year this year so far, but I know that I'm on this plateau. So I'm gaining all the knowledge I need to gain. And then, I mean, I've got one under contract already, but I know I'm going to have this month where the foundation is built, and now I'm going to start stacking on and building the house. So for me, it takes just a little bit of time. It should happen sooner, but once, when I've reached out to people, they've had positive feedback. I see people out that I sold them a house, and then I touch base with them again and say, hey, you need anything? Here's a list of trades I've worked with. And it's not always trades like plumbers and contractors. I have guys that I've worked with that they work in cybersecurity. And so I refer them as hey, you need this, boom, like this guy will take care of you. So it's anybody you work with that does anything. And it's going to turn over for me. But it's a new beginnings usually can take some time. And that's what I'm going through. So you're going to start hearing about a lot of closings before this year's over for me.
There you go, buddy. Brian Copeland, talk to me.
I think one thing that really resonated is when you were talking about who's giving you referrals back. Like I always, when I'm talking to agents and talking to myself, it's like, who are your raving fans?
Yes. Right.
Like everybody has, like if you build a referral tree out, like there is a pattern of where those referrals are coming from. Like you probably have 5 to 10 raving fans and that's about it. It's just how it works. And those people give you referrals nonstop if you continue to take care of them. And it's like love on those people, because that's where probably a lot of that sorts of business is coming from. And secondly, regarding Joe, the other thing, and I remind myself again when I talk to folks, is like start with your phone book. If you haven't called every single number in your phone book, then you're really not prospecting. Like those people are in your phone for a reason. Right. Send them a video message and call them, because that's a massive source of business. Everybody's always chasing, paid leads. But like, what do you have for free?
Good stuff, Brian. By the way, 10 raving fans. Duncan's on the phone listing another property, everybody. Number 4. Way to go, Duncan. All you need is 10 raving fans giving you 3 referrals each per year, and you just close 30 sales. Talk to me, Karen.
Real quick, I had a listing appointment today that moved to Tuesday. And so this has become a handwritten note for me, because that all has always worked. And I also wanted to give Bob Gauger a shout out. Thanks for your help last evening.
Yeah, there you go. If you don't have this and this sitting at your desk, you're not doing it right.
You better believe it. Okay. So yeah, handwritten notes today.
There we go. Good job, David. There we go. Man, I always know who the rock stars are. I do. All right. That is a wrap. You guys make it a great day. See you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. This was amazing.
Sean.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
Hundreds of agents have leveled up their systems and listings with Coach John's coaching. Your turn starts here. Scan the QR code to schedule your session.
And don't forget to subscribe and share this with someone who's serious about building long-term wealth in real estate.